Rochel Cemetery in Paramus, New Jersey, Route 4, Paramus, New Jersey, Block 4, Row 17. Shiva will be held in the home of the Nifteris, 124 Broadway, Shacharis at 7 a.m., Mincha at 1:30, and Ma'ariv at 7 o'clock until Friday afternoon. On behalf of the Kehillah, on behalf of the family, on behalf of myself, my children, I'd like to ask Kehillah if we ever displayed a lamp or a lessening of kavod to body, especially in the last few years. And we hope Bobby to be much love from Meshulem Gelman.
Would you announce this lemon?
I'm not saying you come early first, I just want to share some thoughts about Bobby. A lot of people have talked about how Bobby went through at a young age of 3 years old and going back to Europe and everything like that, to her grandmother and her grandfather who brought her up. So as an amical speaking, I want to talk about how Bobby, our grandmother, it's really my brother mentioned, the excitement we would get when we go to Bobby and Zaidi's house. It started off with going up and down the hills between the streets, the back roads to get to Bobby and Zaidi. We all look forward to that. We come into Bobby and Zaidi ready with huge smiles on our faces, little kids, all excited, coming here to the shul, walking with Bobby and Zaidi. And tons of memories we all have. And just makes us smile thinking about everything, all the good times that we had with Bobby and Zaidi, each one infused, like everybody spoke about, with lessons, true lessons about what it means to be an Eved Hashem and to go al pi Torah. Those are child memories. I personally had a tremendous chud that when I was a bacher in Eretz Yisrael, when I was 20 and 21 years old, I was able to be Meshamish Bobby and Zaidi for 2 years straight. At that time, they had spent a lot of time in Eretz Yisrael on Pinsker Street, and those were probably the best years of my child life, spending it together with Bobby and Zaidi. Every single day, whenever I had an opportunity, after Seder in the morning, I would go with Zaidi to Vasikin. I'd take him to the mikveh first. We'd go around, we'd go to Tante Chani and Uncle Eli's house, and we spent tons and tons of time together. We talked about how Zaidi was Mechabed Bobby, and Shirley mentioned that great kavod came, it was a two-way street. Bobby would sit there and smile and watch Zaidi. Everybody in Bobby's eyes would light up, and she'd look at Zaidi, and she'd talk about Zaidi. And she could sit there for hours and hours saying stories upon stories upon stories. The trip to Bobby was never 5 minutes. It was more like a few hours. Because you never wanted to leave. You were just drinking from everything Bobby had to give us. And the entire time, Zaidi standing there, commenting, smiling. There's nothing better for an amical than to feel that love. I remember specifically a story, and it was funny, this past Shabbos, we were sitting together, we were by Rifki Wagner, Yitzhak and Rifki Wagner, and we were talking about Eretz Yisrael. And I said over the following story about Bobby and Zaidi, just by the Shabbos table. Little did we know what was happening in Far Rockaway. Zaidi and I had gone to our morning routine. We started off by the mikveh, Fatuk, And after that, we went to the Kaisel to daven. And when we came back, Bobby was out taking her walk. And Zaidi and I were like two bachrim in the kitchen. And we were making eggs and toast and everything like that. And as we were finishing up, Zaidi looks at me and he goes, "Oh no, Bobby's coming back and we have a problem. We burnt the toaster. So what could we do? What's the answer? What are we going to do?" So it wasn't me who came up with the answer. It was Zaidi. Zaidi said, "Let's take it by its plug and let's suspend it out of the window and close the window. And it will swing out. This way Bobby wouldn't see it and won't smell it." What Zaidi forgot was that they were on the second floor and that window was right above the entrance to Pinska building. And Bobby was walking into the Pinska building and I was standing there hanging the toaster out. Bobby walks in with a huge smile on her face. The whole thing was done in jest. Zaidi's putting the toaster out the window, Bobby's response. It was all done out of ahava, out of love. And if these are the memories that we have, Bobby's latkes, Hanukkah, and so on and so forth, tons and tons of memories of Bobby and Zaidi, how each one was machabed the other. Shirley said, I'm just going to reiterate it. We all know Zaidi, the tremendous, tremendous kavod and ava he gave for Bobby, and Uncle Yitzchak said over the story from Eli Finkel. It was a two-way street. Zaidi could not have such an outpouring of love without Bobby having the same ava and the same strength for Zaidi standing behind everything he did. Rabbi Rubin said, and my father said, we're just coming off this past Parshiyos where Vayomes Yosef v'chol echad v'chol adar azu, and that's when the Shibud started. We also know that they say why the Parsha of Vayigash and Vayechi is a stuma, and there's no space in between, because by Yaakov Avinu's Misa, that's when the Shibud started. So Mimon of Shach, was it when Yaakov died, or was it Yosef v'chol echad v'chol adar avu? They say, I don't know from whom, but it's given under the Shibud. When Yosef v'chol echad died, it was the Shibud, the Gashmistic Shibud of the hard work that they needed to do in Mitzrayim, Pislim, and Ramses. But when Yaakov Avinu died, it was the Shibud HaNefasha, it's the Shibud of that the link to the Frierdiker Dairis is over, and now Mezanin and Galus, the children are alone in Galus, and they have to fight the Ruchniistic battle by themselves, and that's the true Shibud. That's what we have here. My father mentioned that when he was in the car coming over, that Bobby was the last from the Frierdiker Dor to go, for me and my siblings. The last 3 years we saw the entire Frierdiker Dor go. Very hard. Baruch Hashem, we were zeicha to have Bobby and Zaidi for all these years, and sometimes that makes it harder. We're very thankful for it. I want to end by saying, Rochel Mevaka Abonel, let Bobby go to the Kisei HaKavod. You know that Zaidi is there waiting for you. Go to the Kisei HaKavod and Beis Hais for all your kindlach. For everybody, for all your Einaklach and the ear Einaklach. We all love you, Bobby. We're going to miss you. Give us chizik. I'd like to ask Uncle Yael to come say the Kalmalik.
Following the Kalmalik, we ask that the men exit, and the women, the sitting Shiva, the children should come to the Oren to write Kriya.